Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have a special kind of luck? It's like they've got a force field around them, keeping them safe from harm. Well, what if I told you there's more to it than just luck? There's a hidden rule in the universe that protects special souls, the chosen ones. And here's the kicker. If you mess with these people, you might end up paying a hefty price. That's right, we're talking about a real-life curse that can turn your world upside down. Think about it for a second. Have you ever seen someone who always seemed to land on their feet, no matter what life threw at them? Maybe you've heard stories of spiritual leaders or gifted individuals who faced huge challenges, but came out on top every single time. It's not just coincidence. There's something bigger at play here. And today we're going to dive deep into this mysterious force that shields the chosen ones and punishes those who try to bring them down. But why should you care about this? Well, whether you believe in spiritual stuff or not, understanding this hidden rule could save you from a world of trouble. Imagine going about your day, thinking you're doing the right thing by challenging someone you disagree with, only to find your life suddenly taking a turn for the worse. Weird coincidences start piling up, opportunities slip through your fingers, and it feels like the whole universe is working against you. That's the power we're talking about, and trust me, it's not something you want to experience firsthand. In this video, we're going to uncover the secrets behind this universal protection. We'll explore who these chosen ones are, why they're so important, and what happens to those who try to stand in their way. By the end, you'll have a whole new perspective on how the universe works, and you might think twice before dismissing someone's spiritual journey. So, buckle up and get ready to discover the hidden forces that shape our world in ways we can barely imagine. In our everyday lives, we often focus on what we can see, touch, and measure. We worry about our jobs, our relationships, and our bank accounts. But what if I told you there's a whole other level to reality that most people never even notice? It's like a cosmic chessboard where moves are being made that affect all of us, whether we realize it or not. And at the center of this grand game are the chosen ones, special individuals who play a crucial role in the spiritual balance of our world. Now, you might be thinking, come on, this sounds like something out of a movie. And I get it. In our modern, skeptical world, it's easy to dismiss talk of spiritual forces and chosen ones. But stick with me for a moment, because what I'm about to share could change the way you see everything around you. Imagine a world where certain people are born with a specific mission, a higher purpose that goes beyond just living a normal life. These individuals aren't always famous or rich. In fact, many of them might seem pretty ordinary at first glance, but they carry within them a spark of something greater, a connection to the universe that sets them apart. These are the chosen ones we're talking about. But here's where it gets really interesting. The universe doesn't just give these people a special mission and then leave them to fend for themselves. Oh no, it goes much further than that. There's an invisible shield, a kind of cosmic protection that surrounds these chosen ones. And woe to anyone who tries to interfere with their path or bring them harm, because the consequences can be severe and far-reaching. Think about some of the great spiritual leaders throughout history. People like Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., or the Dalai Lama. These individuals faced incredible opposition, even threats to their lives. Yet somehow, they managed to persist, to continue their work despite the odds. Was it just luck? Or was there something more at play? A force beyond our understanding that ensured their message would be heard? In this video, we're going to explore this fascinating phenomenon. We'll look at who these chosen ones are, how to recognize them, and most importantly, why it's in your best interest to tread carefully around them. Because make no mistake, the cost of attacking a chosen one isn't something to be taken lightly. Lives have been changed, fortunes lost, and destinies altered when people have made the mistake of standing against these spiritually protected individuals. But don't worry, this isn't all doom and gloom. Understanding this hidden rule of the universe can actually be incredibly empowering. It can help you navigate your own spiritual path with greater awareness, and maybe even recognize the chosen ones in your own life. Who knows? You might even discover that you have a special purpose of your own. So, are you ready to pull back the curtain and see the unseen forces at work in our world? Are you prepared to challenge your assumptions about how the universe operates? Great, because we're about to embark on a journey that will open your eyes to a reality that's been hiding in plain sight all along. Let's dive in and discover the truth about the chosen ones and the price of standing against them. Now that we've set the stage, let's dig deeper into what exactly we mean by a chosen one. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot in movies and books, but the reality is both more subtle and more profound than most people realize. A chosen one isn't someone who walks around with a glowing aura or performs miracles on demand. They're not superheroes or mythical figures. In fact, many chosen ones live quiet lives, often unaware of their true significance. So what sets them apart? It all comes down to their spiritual purpose and their connection to the greater forces of the universe. Think of chosen ones as spiritual messengers or teachers. They're individuals who have been selected, whether by fate, destiny, or some higher power, to play a specific role in the grand tapestry of existence. This role might involve spreading a particular message, guiding others on their spiritual journeys, or even just embodying certain qualities that inspire those around them. One key characteristic of chosen ones is their innate wisdom. They often possess insights and understanding that seem to go beyond their years or life experiences. It's as if they have access to a wellspring of knowledge that others can't quite tap into. This doesn't mean they're all-knowing or infallible, but rather that they have a unique perspective on life and the human experience. Another common trait among chosen ones is their ability to overcome adversity. It's not that they don't face challenges. In fact, many chosen ones go through intense struggles and hardships. But they have an uncanny knack for bouncing back, for finding strength in difficult times. It's almost as if these challenges are part of their journey, refining them and preparing them for their true purpose. Chosen ones also tend to have a strong sense of empathy and compassion. They're often drawn to helping others, even when it comes at a personal cost. This isn't just about being nice. It's a deep-seated drive to make a positive impact on the world around them. They might be the person everyone turns to for advice, or the one who always seems to know just what to say to lift someone's spirits. But here's an important point to remember. Being a chosen one isn't about being perfect or superior to others. In fact, many chosen ones struggle with self-doubt and uncertainty. They might question their path or wonder why they feel so different from those around them. It's not an easy role to play, and it often comes with its own unique set of challenges. So how can you recognize a chosen one in your own life? Look for people who seem to have a profound impact on others without really trying. They're the ones who inspire change just by being themselves. They might be teachers who transform their students' lives, artists whose work touches people on a deep emotional level, or even just everyday individuals whose presence seems to make everything around them a little bit brighter. Remember, chosen ones don't always fit into neat categories. They can be found in all walks of life, all professions, and all corners of the world. The key is their impact and the sense that they're operating on a slightly different wavelength than the rest of us. Now, you might be wondering, could I be a chosen one? And the answer is it's possible. Many chosen ones go through life without fully realizing their significance. If you've always felt a pull towards something greater, if you find yourself naturally guiding and helping others, or if you've overcome great obstacles with an inexplicable inner strength, you might just have a special purpose of your own. But whether you're a chosen one or not, understanding this concept is crucial. Because as we'll explore in the rest of this video, the way we interact with these spiritual messengers can have profound consequences for our own lives. The universe has set up a system of protection around these individuals, and knowing how it works could save you from some serious spiritual backlash. So as we move forward, keep in mind that chosen ones aren't mythical beings or untouchable saints. They're real people living among us, often unaware of their true significance. They're the catalyst for change, the beacons of hope, and the embodiment of universal wisdom in human form. And as we'll see, messing with their mission is something the universe takes very, very seriously. Let's dive into one of the most fascinating aspects of the chosen ones: the invisible shield that seems to surround them. It's not something you can see or touch, but its effects are undeniable. This universal protection acts like a cosmic bodyguard, keeping the chosen ones safe as they go about their important work. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does this protection look like in real life? Well, it's not like chosen ones are walking around in bulletproof bubbles. Instead, this protection often shows up in more subtle ways. It's the near-miss accidents they somehow avoid, the unexpected help that arrives just when they need it most, or the uncanny ability to overcome obstacles that would stop others in their tracks. Think about times in your own life when everything seemed to be going wrong, but then suddenly, out of nowhere, things turned around. Maybe you lost your job, but then stumbled upon an even better opportunity. Or perhaps you faced a health scare that turned out to be nothing serious. For chosen ones, these kinds of lucky breaks happen more often than you'd expect. It's as if the universe itself is conspiring to keep them on their path. But this protection goes beyond just good luck. There's also a kind of karmic boomerang effect at play. When someone tries to harm or hinder a chosen one, it often backfires in unexpected ways. It's not that the chosen ones are actively trying to punish anyone. Rather, it's like the universe steps in to balance the scales. Imagine throwing a stone into a still pond. The ripples spread out in all directions, affecting the entire surface. That's similar to how this protection works. Any negative energy directed at a chosen one doesn't just disappear. It ripples back to its source, often amplified. But here's the thing. This protection isn't perfect or absolute. Chosen ones still face challenges and hardships. In fact, many of them go through intense struggles as part of their journey. The difference is in how these challenges shape them and how they ultimately overcome them. It's not about having an easy life, but about having the strength and support to fulfill their purpose no matter what. Understanding this universal protection is crucial, not just for recognizing chosen ones, but for navigating our own spiritual paths. It reminds us that there are forces at work in the universe that we don't fully understand, and that our actions can have consequences beyond what we can see. Now let's talk about the flip side of this cosmic protection. What happens to those who try to harm or hinder a chosen one? This is where things get really interesting and frankly a bit scary. We're talking about a kind of spiritual backlash that can turn someone's life upside down. First off, it's important to understand that this isn't about some cartoon-like zap of lightning striking down wrongdoers. The universe works in more subtle, but often more profound ways. When someone consistently acts against a chosen one, they might start to notice a series of unfortunate events piling up in their life. It's like they've suddenly been caught in a web of bad luck with no clear way out. One of the most common signs of this spiritual curse is a feeling of being stuck. Imagine waking up one day and finding that all your plans, all your progress, has suddenly ground to a halt. Projects that were moving forward smoothly now face endless delays. Opportunities that seemed certain suddenly fall through. It's as if an invisible force is working against you, blocking your path at every turn. Another sign is unexplained financial troubles. This doesn't mean you'll suddenly go broke overnight. Instead, it's more like a slow drain on your resources. Unexpected expenses keep popping up. Investments that seemed solid start to falter. It's as if the universe is slowly but surely squeezing your wallet, reminding you that there's a price to pay for your actions. Health issues can also be a sign of this spiritual backlash. Again, we're not talking about sudden, dramatic illnesses. It's more like a gradual decline in well-being. Persistent headaches, unexplained fatigue, or a general feeling of being off can all be symptoms. It's as if your body is carrying the weight of your negative actions, manifesting it in physical discomfort. Relationship problems are another common indicator. People under this kind of spiritual curse often find their personal connections starting to fray. Friends might start to drift away for no apparent reason. Arguments with loved ones become more frequent and intense. There's a sense of isolation that creeps in as if the person is being cut off from their support network. But perhaps the most unsettling sign is a persistent feeling of unease or dread. It's like a dark cloud hanging over your head, a constant nagging feeling that something isn't right. You might find yourself looking over your shoulder more often, feeling paranoid or anxious without really knowing why. It's the universe's way of nudging you, trying to make you aware that you've stepped out of alignment with the natural order of things. Now, it's crucial to understand that these signs don't always mean you're under a spiritual curse. Life has its ups and downs for everyone, and sometimes bad luck is just bad luck. The key difference is in the persistence and intensity of these negative experiences, especially when they seem to have started after you've come into conflict with someone who might be a chosen one. It's also worth noting that this spiritual backlash isn't about punishment in the traditional sense. The universe isn't vengeful or angry. Instead, think of it more like a rebalancing. When someone acts against a chosen one, they're disrupting a delicate spiritual equilibrium. The difficulties they face are the universe's way of nudging them back into alignment, of making them aware of the consequences of their actions. To truly understand why attacking a chosen one can have such severe consequences, we need to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. We're talking about the fundamental laws that govern the universe, the unseen forces that keep everything in balance. Think of the universe as a vast, interconnected web. Every action, every thought sends ripples through this web, affecting everything it touches. Most of the time, these ripples are small, barely noticeable. But when someone interferes with a chosen one, it's like they're tugging on a crucial thread in this cosmic tapestry. The resulting vibrations are much stronger, and they inevitably bounce back to the source. But why are chosen ones so important in this grand scheme? It all comes down to their purpose. Remember, these individuals aren't just random people who got lucky. They're here for a reason, carrying messages or embodying qualities that are vital for humanity's growth and evolution. When someone tries to stop them or knock them off course, they're not just attacking an individual. They're standing in the way of a much larger plan. Imagine a movie where a key character is suddenly written out halfway through. The whole story would fall apart, right? That's similar to what happens when someone interferes with the chosen one's path. They're disrupting a narrative that's much bigger than any one person, and the universe doesn't take kindly to that kind of meddling. There's also an element of energy at play here. Chosen ones often carry a unique vibrational frequency, a kind of spiritual energy that resonates with the universe's higher purposes. When someone directs negative energy towards them, it's like throwing a stone into a calm pool. The ripples don't just disappear. They bounce off the edges and come right back to the thrower, often amplified in the process. This is why the consequences of attacking a chosen one can seem so severe. It's not about punishment in the traditional sense. Rather, it's the universe's way of course correcting, of ensuring that important spiritual work can continue unimpeded. The difficulties faced by those who stand against chosen ones are like spiritual friction burns, the result of trying to move against the natural flow of universal energy. But here's an important point to remember. This cosmic balance isn't about good versus evil in simple terms. Chosen ones aren't perfect, and those who oppose them aren't necessarily bad people. Often, conflicts arise from misunderstandings, fear, or a limited perspective. The universe doesn't judge in human terms of right and wrong. Instead, it simply responds to energies and actions, always seeking to maintain equilibrium. Understanding this cosmic balance is crucial for navigating our own spiritual journeys. It reminds us that we're all part of something much larger than ourselves, and that our actions have consequences beyond what we can immediately see. It encourages us to think carefully about how we interact with others, especially those who seem to be on important spiritual paths. Moreover, this understanding can be incredibly empowering. It suggests that when we align ourselves with positive purposes, when we support and encourage those who are working towards higher goals, we too can tap into this universal support system. We become part of the solution, riding the waves of cosmic energy rather than struggling against them. In essence, the reason attacking chosen ones leads to such profound consequences is that it goes against the very fabric of how the universe operates. It's like trying to swim against a powerful current. You might make some progress for a while, but eventually the force of the stream will win out. The smart move is to recognize the flow and work with it, not against it. As we continue to explore this fascinating topic, keep in mind that these universal laws apply to all of us, not just chosen ones. We're all threads in the cosmic tapestry, all capable of tapping into universal energies. The key is to become more aware of these unseen forces, to listen to the subtle guidance of the universe, and to align our actions with higher purposes. In doing so, we not only avoid the pitfalls of opposing cosmic plans, but also open ourselves up to the incredible support and protection the universe offers to those who work in harmony with its grand design. To really understand the power of this universal protection and the consequences of going against it, let's look at some real-life examples. These stories might sound unbelievable at first, but they illustrate just how profound the effects of this cosmic law can be. Take the case of Sarah, a successful businesswoman who prided herself on her cutthroat tactics. She encountered a spiritual teacher who was gaining popularity in her city. Seeing this as competition for people's attention and resources, Sarah launched a smear campaign against the teacher. At first, things seemed to go her way. The teacher's reputation took a hit, and Sarah felt triumphant. But then, things started to change. Sarah's business deals began falling through for no apparent reason. Longtime clients suddenly backed out of contracts. Her once thriving company started hemorrhaging money. Within a year, Sarah found herself facing bankruptcy. It was as if all her success had been built on a house of cards that suddenly collapsed. Then there's the story of Mike, a skeptic who made it his mission to debunk a local healer. This healer had been helping people with chronic illnesses, and Mike was convinced it was all a scam. He spent months gathering evidence and even filed legal complaints. But as his campaign against the healer intensified, Mike's own health took a mysterious turn for the worse. He developed unexplained symptoms that no doctor could diagnose. It was only when he finally let go of his vendetta that his health began to improve. Another example is the case of a small town where a young environmental activist was trying to stop a big corporation from polluting the local river. The corporation's CEO, determined to silence the activist, used his influence to have her arrested on false charges. But soon after, a series of scandals hit the company. Hidden documents came to light, whistleblowers stepped forward, and the CEO found himself facing not just public backlash, but legal consequences as well. The activist, meanwhile, was released and gained even more support for her cause. These stories highlight a crucial point. The universe's response isn't always immediate or obvious. Sometimes it takes months or even years for the full effects to manifest. But when they do, the results can be life-changing. It's also worth noting that in many of these cases, the chosen ones themselves didn't actively seek revenge or retaliation. They often continued their work despite the opposition, focused on their mission rather than on fighting back. This is a key characteristic of true chosen ones. They trust in the larger plan and don't get sidetracked by personal vendettas. Now that we've seen how powerful this cosmic backlash can be, you might be wondering how to avoid it. The good news is that staying on the right side of this universal law isn't complicated. It's all about approaching life with openness, respect, and a willingness to see beyond our own limited perspectives. The first and most important step is to cultivate an attitude of respect towards others, especially those who seem to be on a spiritual path. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everyone or follow every spiritual teacher you encounter. It's more about maintaining an open mind and recognizing that there might be more to someone's journey than what you can see on the surface. Practice empathy and try to understand where others are coming from, even if their beliefs or actions seem strange to you. Remember, chosen ones often operate on a different wavelength than the rest of us. What might look like nonsense to you could be profound wisdom that you're not yet ready to understand. Another key aspect is to be mindful of your actions and intentions. Before you speak out against someone or try to obstruct their work, pause and ask yourself, am I doing this for the greater good, Or is it driven by ego, jealousy, or fear? Often, the urge to attack or discredit others comes from our own insecurities or limited understanding. It's also important to pay attention to the signs the universe sends you. If you find that every time you oppose a certain person or idea, things in your life start to go wrong, take that as a cosmic hint. The universe often gives us gentle nudges before resorting to harsher wake-up calls. Remember, avoiding the curse isn't about walking on eggshells or never disagreeing with anyone. It's about approaching life with wisdom, compassion, and a recognition of the bigger picture. When you align yourself with positive energies and support those who are working towards higher goals, you not only avoid negative consequences, but also open yourself up to the universe's blessings. If you're reading this and realizing that you might have already run afoul of this cosmic law, don't panic. The universe is not vindictive, and there's always a path to redemption. The key is to recognize what's happening and take steps to realign yourself with more positive energies. The first step is acknowledgement. Take an honest look at your actions and their potential consequences. Have you been actively working against someone who might be a chosen one? Have you been spreading negativity or trying to obstruct someone's spiritual work? Admitting this to yourself is crucial for moving forward. Next comes the hard part, making amends. This doesn't necessarily mean you have to go to the person you've wronged and beg for forgiveness, although in some cases that might be appropriate. It's more about changing your energy and intentions. Stop any negative actions or campaigns you've been involved in. If you've spread misinformation, do what you can to correct it. A powerful step can be to actually support the work of the person you once opposed. This doesn't mean you have to become their biggest fan, but finding small ways to help or at least not hinder their mission can go a long way in rebalancing the cosmic scales. It's also important to work on your own spiritual growth. Often, our attacks on others come from a place of fear, insecurity, or lack of understanding. By focusing on your own journey, expanding your awareness, and working on your own issues, you naturally shift into a more positive alignment with the universe. Remember, change takes time. Just as the consequences of your actions didn't manifest overnight, the process of turning things around won't be instant. Be patient with yourself and trust in the process. The universe recognizes genuine efforts to make things right. As we wrap up this exploration of the hidden rules of the universe and the consequences of attacking chosen ones, it's important to step back and look at the bigger picture. This isn't just about avoiding bad luck or curry ing favor with the cosmos. It's about understanding our place in the grand tapestry of existence and learning to dance in harmony with the universe's rhythm. The concept of chosen ones and universal protection reminds us that there's more to reality than what meets the eye. It encourages us to approach life with wonder, openness, and respect for the journeys of others. It teaches us that our actions have consequences beyond what we can immediately see, rippling out into the world in ways we might never fully comprehend. But perhaps most importantly, this knowledge empowers us. It shows us that by aligning ourselves with positive purposes, by supporting those who work towards higher goals, we too can tap into the incredible power of universal support. We become not just observers of the cosmic dance, but active participants, co-creators of a reality aligned with the highest good. As you go forward from here, carry this wisdom with you. Look at the world with new eyes, recognizing the potential chosen ones around you. Approach conflicts and disagreements with a broader perspective, always considering the bigger picture. And most of all, listen to the subtle guidance of the universe, trusting that when you act in harmony with its flow, incredible things become possible. Remember, the choice is always yours. You can struggle against the current, facing the consequences that come with opposing cosmic plans. Or you can learn to flow with it, opening yourself to the protection, guidance, and opportunities that the universe offers to those who work in harmony with its grand design. In the end, the message is simple. Tread lightly, love openly, and trust in the journey. For in doing so, you not only avoid the pitfalls of cosmic backlash, but open yourself to the boundless possibilities of a life lived in tune with the universe. And who knows? You might just discover that you, too, have a special role to play in this grand cosmic drama.